Ashkeepers Legacy is a real tabletop RPG show for adults who choose to never grow up. But that does mean our shenanigans may not be appropriate for younger viewers and listeners. From colorful words to emotional highs and lows to fart and phallic jokes, we will hit it all. So please enjoy responsibly, like coffee or beer or buying dice. Welcome to the show.
Welcome back, friends and fellow gamers, to Detention Gaming!
Really enjoying that time.
Thank you all.
This is episode 24 of our Dungeons & Dragons campaign, Ashkeepers Legacy. If you enjoy our content, please like, subscribe, and share. We greatly appreciate the continued support. Our broadcast is now going live Sunday. Oh no, I didn't update my intro for this bit. When are we uploading? Sunday mornings, right?
No,
Or
Sundays
evening.
at 6 p.m.
At 6 p.m.
Pacific Standard Time.
Pacific Standard Time.
By the time you watch this, they've been happening for a while.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
Yes. Follow us on socials for live updates. Please.
Our group major problem is communication. We're working on it.
We're filming in a time paradox. It's great.
In a time paradox. This is an alternate reality.
Mhm.
You get content. That's the.
You're watching from the future right now.
We're also doing our best.
We're doing this ourselves, and we're doing our best.
Yeah.
There's 5 people with ADHD and all the different.
I'm not confirmed. It's there.
Takes one to know one.
And
Anyhow.
we're so off the rails. Okay.
Back to Dom. Back to Dom.
I think that ends our announcements.
No.
What? Oh,
Like,
there's more.
share, subscribe,
Follow.
Join the
Watch the
Discord.
TikToks. Join the Discord.
All the
All the things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instagram.
This is great.
You wanted us to do the
Yeah, no,
We're
this is
doing the
great.
bitch. If
Fucking
you like it.
improv this shit. Yeah. Fuck the script.
Wait, we have a script?
I do. Okay. Yes.
Back to
Thank
the script.
you. Yeah. Without further ado, I'm going to recap the events of last session. Jump right back in for tonight's session. So, last time on Ashkeepers Legacy, our heroes departed the grove with the archdruid Eleandor for a retreat of sorts to finish their training. They tracked a great distance into the wilderness to a geyser field and a natural hot springs located in the woodlands at the base of nearby mountains. Being winter, it was a lovely surprise. The warmth of the natural hot springs was a nice kind of getaway from the bitter cold of the grove. Eleandor shared upon your arrival that he's going to pull each of you away from the group to work with you individually with a kind of one-on-one training of sorts. The intent of the trip, the intent of this trip, is to center yourselves mentally and spiritually. Unfortunately, the first night was a full moon in the prime material plane, sending Tum into the wilderness in a rage. Understanding his new awakened abilities a bit better, using his dire wolf wild shape, Eleandor helped you hunt and feed, and to better establish a bond with your bestial side. He himself learned much of your winter court fae side that's channeled through your lycanthropy. So a learning experience for you both. Next, he helped Adora with her visions and you sat by the fire and underwent a meditation with with him, and it allowed you to tap into your source of your visions and the understanding of fire and how to kind of get yourself in the mental, emotional, and physical space to almost activate that connection yourself. And you were surprised to find in this engulfed in blue flame in this vision, in the deep recesses of your mind, a small feathered baby bird, a chick engulfed in blue flame, and what you believe to be a phoenix that's calling out to you for help into the unknown reaches of you don't know where. And with that, we resume our story. Adora, you walk back to the camp to regroup with the others, and Eleandor goes over to his setup to kind of take a rest after the training he had with you and to prepare for the next training. So far, he's worked with a few of you, some more than others. He's intending to work with everyone individually. So we pick up with the three of you sitting around camp wherever you think you would be. Okay.
Clean up.
Yep. Tom went off to clean up, so whatever Armand and Vivian are doing around this time, like, I imagine that it is early morning. I believe, if memory serves correct, time had elapsed from the night hunt. You all went to sleep for a long rest, have woken up, it's a new day. Then he went after breakfast to go help Adora with the visions, and now has returned, so.
I feel like I'm doing some sort of like impromptu training. Like I'm probably using my rope dart as a jump rope and just like doing like little skips like a boxer.
Okay. Cool.
What else am I gonna do? I already hunted the deer. Like I'm good. I did my deed for the party.
Tending to the fire, I look over at our mom. Do you ever take a break?
What? I'm just
Do you take a break? You're skipping rope with your weapon.
Yeah, because I don't have a rope.
You could have asked. I have rope, but
Do you have like a skinnier rope like this where I can just like it's easy to jump over? Like
yeah, and I pull it out.
oh, cool.
Bro.
But like I know what you mean by like a break. But honest, this is how I relax.
I mean, fair, but next time don't use your weapon. It's
I mean,
I'm scratched up.
No, I'm holding it by like the thing.
Yeah, for the bottom. That's how you wear a chain.
It's not fair. I like tie it back and like start re-skipping.
Okay. I imagine if Sabon was keeping count and he goes back to 0. You like go again and it was like 45, 46, and then you stop and then you start going again. He's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Really?
It's like
What?
what? You started over.
No, I took a pause. There's a difference
You
between taking a
changed
pause.
your gear.
Are you saying this
That's
all
cheating.
out loud?
Do you
I
change?
guess I'm saying out loud.
You-
Like that's cheating.
What?
You're cheating.
Who's cheating?
Esteban's cheating.
Oh, your talking sword.
My talk. Yes. He was keeping count and now he's starting over because I changed to a rope. So this is your fault.
You don't change your weights mid-workout. Ruins the set.
You do if you're upping the weight, bro.
God, I wish I could hear the end of that. Other end of that.
You're just like, you could do better.
I'm gonna put you into the dirt right now and will not bring you back out until we're ready to go.
I'm just gonna leave you
Just
two alone.
silence after you speak this.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I continue jumping.
1, 2, 3.
I just continue jumping.
Okay. Cool. Okay. If after getting cleaned up Akhenaten, I imagine in a more removed section of the cavern where there's hot springs, you feel cleaned, refreshed, a bit tired and sore, and your mind is still reeling from the events of last night, and you are having trouble following with pieces of it. It's kind of like a fever dream. You remember bits and pieces of it, and you're trying to stitch it together like a play in your mind, and you're trying to figure out what pieces fit where in the order of events of last night.
Not when you go hot tub. It's nice. It's warm.
Yeah, you're given space. I don't think everyone's kind of doing their own thing at this time, so.
He's definitely not in people's right now.
Fair
I know
enough.
it's gonna bug you.
He has blown up a nice sized joint.
Okay. Adora, you are reeling from your vision you just recently had. What are you doing?
I think I am contemplative. I come walking back to camp, and I've just got the blue phoenix feather in my fingers, and I'm like twirling it back and forth as I walk. And I'm like kind of keeping in my periphery so I don't trip over anything, but like I'm focused in on the feather and like everything that I just went through
Mm-hmm.
as I return to camp and then kind of go sit down just on like autopilot.
Okay. Cool.
How did it go?
It was a lot.
I stopped opening. Is it blue?
Yep. Yep. It's a phoenix feather.
Blue? Aren't phoenixes red?
I'm not sure. But this one's blue.
What'd you do?
I can't really describe it. But he helped me work through these visions that I've been having. Trying to start to control when they happen and how they happen. I'm still nowhere near that point, but it was very helpful.
Good. I'm happy for you. Are you okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
I've got coffee going, and if you need anything,
Coffee sounds good. Cool.
I run and do coffee.
Why is your face like that?
No, just coffee sounds good, I
Uh-huh.
guess. Mm-hmm.
It's just me and Armand standing there awkwardly while you
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just like, so.
And I take my time.
Anyone seen Tump?
He's in a pool smoking a joint.
Sounds like a good time. So,
So you're psychic now?
I don't think psychic is the right word.
You see visions. You learn how to control them better. You came back with a changed feather.
You don't know that this is the same feather.
Is it not the same feather?
It's the same feather.
Yeah, so psychic.
I'm figuring it out. I don't know what it means.
It's pretty sick.
Thanks. You talk to your sword?
He's being a bit annoying. But
Oh,
yeah.
I just meant in general that you talk to your sword.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Yeah, but apparently you're very close, so personality-wise.
Thank you.
I meant you know that you're... You know what? You're kind of psychic, too.
Wait, so does that mean I'm getting smarter brain? Because he talks to me because I'm like strong and shit, but I know I'm not the brightest thing in the shed.
Yes, Armand. Yes. You're definitely becoming more smart of brain.
Cool.
Cool.
Coffee?
Does that impress girls?
Vivian comes into frame with coffee.
I'm like, I take the coffee. I'm like, well, sure. You know, girls like smart people. Smart of brain. Right, Vivian?
Yeah. Smart of brain.
It's like
What are we talking about?
Like if being smart impresses girls.
Which girl?
I mean, which girl? He said girls. Obviously, there's multiple.
No. No. One girl that I really want to impress. And
Which girl? What girl? When have you had time to meet a girl?
you know, Tom's sister, Biscuit.
I'm sorry.
Oh, Tom's sister.
Did you say Akhenaten's sister?
Yeah.
Little sister. Does Tom
She
know?
don't act little.
Oh my! Does Tom know?
Yeah.
Tom knows.
You told Tom?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I kind of like declared my intentions to his mom like very publicly.
But to Tom?
Yeah, well, Tom knows. Like I told him.
I mean, I guess if Tom is okay with it,
I didn't say that. But, like, I knows.
this will be fun.
Oh.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
If you're declaring things to her mom,
It
I'd
must
say
be
you've
serious.
impressed already.
It must.
And if
yeah.
you know that she's not so little, I'd say you've already impressed.
Thanks.
And I don't need to know how.
No, that's just for me. And I just like just imagine like this like big like hulking like 6'5" like boy man just kind of like shuffling his feet and being like super shy.
Is this your first?
Shut up!
Oh, all right. Cool. I just wanted to make sure I knew where you were coming from, and now I do, and that's, congratulations.
Good
That's
luck.
great. That's great. It's great. Happy for you, Armand.
It's
Huh?
I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
I'm sure you're doing just fine.
I'm trying. Do either of you know how to dance?
Oh,
No,
Adora knows how
no,
real well.
Oh, Adora knows how to dance.
That is.
Adora knows how to dance. Okay.
I know how to dance so well that I don't think you can keep up. So.
Why don't you show?
Insight check. Nope, not
Missing
3.
all this.
Got a 7.
Then that means you're kind of like perfect to teach me.
No, it's too much. It's too much, Armand.
No, I think you could do it, Adora.
No, I think Vivian's more your speed. Vivian.
Are you saying I'm a bad dancer,
Yes.
Adora?
If I'm a good dancer, you're
I mean-
obviously a bad dancer.
I mean, you're kind of closer to Hibiscus's height.
Oh, see?
Why
You're
would
closer
I-
to Hibiscus's height.
If I'm so bad, why should I be the one to teach?
Because he needs to practice with somebody more his speed. He's got to lead. He doesn't want somebody to lead him. And I would lead him.
What did you just do? A persuasion?
Deception.
Deception.
Insight.
Insight.
I mean, I know, but
Ooh.
that's 20, bitch.
Oh, 19.
9.
Just like, uh-huh.
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 Yep. I am
Get
taller.
your ass up there.
By an inch, and I'm still growing, cabrona.
I'm still taller. Also,
Not
if
for
I'm
long.
the one that's most knowledgeable about dancing, and I look pointedly at Vivian because Vivian started this lie,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm the best to give pointers while you both dance.
But I don't want to know how to dance.
But you do want to help Armand out, don't you?
I just give like the biggest like puppy dog eye.
One eye.
Singular puppy dog eye.
Persuasion.
Oh, shit.
At this point, I think Tom's
18.
probably walking back.
I rolled an
Okay.
18.
Do I want to
What do I
know?
roll for against?
Do I want to know?
Wait, why did she roll against persuasion?
What
What should I roll against persuasion to dance?
I mean, this could be insight.
Well, I'm persuading, so.
Well,
So
it's
yeah,
it's an
usually
18
it's your
anyway,
insight
so-
versus the person's charisma
Fine.
skill check. is usually what that is.
Fine.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Just keep your arms up here. Or up here.
Like right beneath like your.
Yep.
Okay.
What's going on?
Oh, Armand is trying to become a better dancer so that he can impress your sister.
Where's your popcorn?
And Vivian has volunteered to help him. And I, as the best dancer of this group, have graciously volunteered to teach them how to do this.
Bitch, you have 2 feet.
Not according to my dice rolls.
Did I say otherwise?
Say I am bullshitting my way through this.
Can we? Do we?
They don't know that, Tom.
Can we like practice a dance now, or do you
Well,
want to wait?
Vivian
till we
knows
get back?
that, but Armand doesn't. This is
Get back
kind of
from
hilarious.
what?
Like from this.
No, I think you should do it now.
Just dance.
Okay.
Get it over with. I hate you.
I like
You
put.
started this.
I like.
Open mouth. Your mouth just wrote a check to ass clean.
That's one hell of a tongue quote. What? What?
Oh boy.
Alrighty then.
Can you write that in a quote somewhere?
Merch shirt.
Okay.
Okay, so I go and like I make. Do I have your consent?
Yes.
Okay, and then I like hold out one hand and then like I like for you to like take. And then I like very like cautiously like put it like where you showed me to put it, so it's not like too high or too low, like right in like the
Right where?
Right where?
Or, like right in like the middle
Of what?
of her like side.
Yep, this is great. Yep.
I just imagine us
Waist.
doing like awkward like yeah high waist, so it's not too low waist.
Mhm.
I feel like a teacup.
Well, I think you're supposed to put your other arm like on my shoulder.
Yes, that's exactly how it's supposed to be doing. Good job.
Comfy.
Good job.
Okay. Then if I step forward, you step back with like a foot. Like, so like you're.
Yeah.
Tom,
I know.
Uh-huh.
I think you should sing for them.
Oh my god.
I can dance, I can not sing.
So you should be dancing with Armand then.
We should be making like ew disgusting. We should be making like performance checks.
We need help with our instructions.
14.
Ah, yes. Armand, lead.
I'm leading.
And Vivian, you will follow.
15.
Okay, 14, 15.
You're actually doing pretty good.
I
This
feel like
is-
doing.
this is
How are
impressive.
we doing?
What was that? Did you make performance checks?
Yeah, 14,
Yeah.
15.
Oh, yeah. You both are keeping in pace with each other and moving around the space and have a nice kind of rhythm going. And
1,
Keeping
2,
good
3,
form,
1, 2,
yeah.
3, 1, 2, 3.
I imagine you both have danced before. Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe on occasion.
I feel like
At events,
sorry.
especially
I
the
think Vivian
guild and
especially
whatnot.
I think I've mentioned before that like my dancing is like with my moms and like my
Yeah.
how to do it in the kitchen.
I'm such a good teacher.
You are. Thank you. Like
Yes.
this is really helpful.
I can see you're doing much better.
Vivian's glaring.
Because I'm such a good dancer, Vivian. Such a good dancer.
But yeah, you move around the space. You
Okay.
continue dancing for.
After a while, I feel like I would just like stop because it's just like okay, this is getting too long now.
Yeah, thank you.
Don't keep going, this is great
Shut
entertainment.
up, man.
Ah!
I knew I was saying it. Fuck.
Dollar in the pan jar.
It's funny that it's consistently been panned most of the
It's
campaign.
because the tub is literally copy paste.
I mean,
We're more brilliant.
that's fair.
I play one character and I play him
I
very
think I
well.
hit you with the Cassandra once.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
In the old set. I think that's it. Oh no, I hit you with the Yolanda once as well. I think
so.
because Yolanda was around.
Avery's very different.
One
I'm
character.
sure it will happen with everyone all the time eventually. But yeah, you dance and you stop dancing, and I mean it was kind of tough. You just kind of had the sound of geysers in the air, winter air outside, and just kind of the overall echo of the cave. There wasn't necessarily any music, but it wasn't a bad dance on either of your parts.
I just realized you two had no idea about the hibiscus thing, did you?
No.
Yeah. Like
I knew you kissed Mercy though.
Wait, what?
Well, I kissed hibiscus at like the truth or dare, or like the drink or dare.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you
Hold
didn't.
up. Cayman!
On the forehead.
Oh.
That's an important detail.
That is very important.
Forehead.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was funny.
Oh, is that where your fish are? Oh.
Armand's just going around kissing people?
Apparently.
When did this happen?
I
In
don't
what
know.
time?
He grew up.
What was I? My job. That's right.
That's great.
I was off the clock.
Off the clock shooting.
On the forehead.
Oh, trust me,
Friendly forehead kiss. And you know what? She pretty much also like tried to pursue me, and I turned her down.
You get what? Oh, my sweet summer child, you're fucked.
I mean, she seemed to like take. She was a little pissed, but she seemed fine.
Mm-hmm.
Like glares, but you know.
Mm-hmm. You're fucked.
You're lovely.
I don't have to worry. We'll protect my
Thank you.
sister with me.
Isn't
Jealous? Oh. Hello there.
Am I really fucked?
Yes.
Great.
You haven't heard the tales of Mercy?
I grew up with Mercy. I mean, I know.
I seen her do some such. It might be fun getting me
I don't want to die before I can take Biscuit out on a proper date.
I don't want to see Mrs. Trick and feel that bonus now. So, please don't. And I also want you having some dad finds out.
I'm gonna go get in a hot spring because I haven't done that yet. So.
Yeah, you knew that.
And I'm tired
Where's-
from watching you guys dance.
Oh,
Hey.
jealous.
What? I'm getting a hot spring.
Okay.
Oh, man.
I go find a hot spring.
All right, yeah. Go and find a hot spring.
So you
Plenty
and
of
Adora
ways.
used to dance, huh?
No.
Mhm.
Adora sucks at dancing.
Then why the...
They were doing a different type of dancing.
Seriously,
Insight.
Tom.
I want to see if I like actually understand that. Okay, yeah. My eye just gets like comically like like the Joey Tribbiani, like when he realizes that it's Ross, and it's just like the oh my god.
Seriously. Anyways,
Where's your grandpa?
I don't know. I'd really like to find him and leave this awkward situation greatly.
Okay, go ahead and make a perception check.
He's just awkwardly standing to the side like that's the whole thing.
He's just discovered his
18.
granddaughter's not a preacher.
18. You see him over in his tent. He's seems to be just like shifting things around, going through some
Hearing
supplies. You
all
see
that.
he's like making. I mean, you don't know, but he was in proximity. He might have heard, listened in, but he also could have tuned it out. He seems to be rather busy at the moment.
Cool.
He's just kind of like grounding some roots and different things. It seems to be like working on ingredients or maybe some more druidic like material components for his spells. You're not sure.
What's all that for?
You see his ear kind of move a bit and looks over. He's like, "Oh, just gathering some natural ingredients I found in the cave for your grandmother."
What does she need ingredients for?
Oh, there's a certain kind of seasoning I can make from some of these things, and she likes it in the food I cook, so.
Well, that's kind of sweet.
Like, yes, it's been some time since I've been able to cook some traditional wood elven meals, and I haven't had the time to scrounge up some natural resources in the area, and due to it being winter, it's been difficult finding things this time of year, but it seems that some of the things I need have kind of taken refuge from the winter weather and here in this cave. So,
Cool.
is everything all right?
Oh yeah, I just came to duck out for a little bit.
Okay, would you like to go? I have something in mind for us if you'd like to go do your next portion of the training.
Yeah, I will do that now. That sounds great. Thanks, Grandpa.
Of course, yes. He looks at you again, he's like, is everything truly all right?
Yeah, it's fine. I just, social gatherings aren't what they used to be anymore. So.
Much like your father in that way, and myself, do not tend well to crowds and civilized strangers, but you're doing the right thing by helping your friend learn to dance. And he stands up and grabs his staff.
Did he overhear that she's not a virgin?
Oh my god!
He's an archdruid. He's a very high wisdom, very high passive perception.
He heard it all. What?
But he takes you.
Your days are numbered.
He takes you out, and he looks at you and goes, so, for this activity, I thought of something that is the last thing that I did with your father before we parted ways. Do you need arcane assistance to take to the air?
No. Oh, wait.
To fly?
I mean, I use. Yeah. Or wait, hang on.
Do you
Out of
need
character-
something to help you fly? Or
No,
do you have the ability to do
I have
so
the
yourself?
ability to fly.
And he just looks at you curiously, he's like, and when did you get this?
I don't know. I just had it since I was young.
He looks a bit surprised. He's like, show me.
Okay. And she like, I think we said last time that they kind of apparate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. She like
However you
shimmies
like.
a little, and her wings apparate from her jacket. Like the
Mhm.
scales kind of disappear from her jacket and turn into the wings,
Mm-hmm.
spreading out, and she flaps them.
He looks, he's really taken aback by this. He's like, this is astonishing. Such innate magic in you. This is surprising.
Why?
It's just surprising that I was not told of this. We could have been flying around all this time.
I'd love to.
He's like, I love being in the air. I had something prepared in case you didn't have this gift, but you do, so, well, let's see how well of a flyer you truly are. And you watch, he takes to the ground and he wild shapes, and you watch as he wild shapes into a very large peregrine falcon, like a giant peregrine falcon. And you see like the gray and speckled dark stripes on his wings and the sharpened beak and his glowing green eyes. And in your humanoid form, he is standing a bit taller than you, but much more of a slender bird of prey build. And the talons kind of clack against the stonework in the cave, and he begins moving out of the cave entrance out into the... It's snowing a little bit, but there's just patches. There is some clear sky out, and the wind catches you, and it's a bit cold. And he steps out and speaks. He goes, so, the last activity I did with you and your father was hunting from the air. And I thought that this would be a good bonding experience for us. And if there's anything you wish to discuss while we are doing so, that is most welcome. I must admit that based on your fighting style, I can see the precision in your skill, but also do not take this in the wrong way, because it is extremely effective and keeps you safe with the fierceness of your fighting style. And I want to make sure that you do not rely too much on your innate instincts and aggression when fighting your enemies like your father. I want to find a balance with you.
I always thought that aggression was your strength.
It can be to a fault, however. Should you rely on it too much, it can be devastating on the battlefield and lead you into a deadly circumstance.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
There's a little paw coming through.
So that gap between
George is
bigger
just
and
like, let me in!
so that gap between bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
King
just
George the
squish it
cat
back
does
there.
not like being kept up to his
Yeah.
Too bad, pretty cat.
Okay. I mean, I don't see why.
And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with you. I just want to explore if we can better counterbalance your aggression and better focus you.
Okay. I trust you.
And he nods deeply and he's like, I appreciate the trust. It goes both ways. And he opens his wings out and just kind of begins taking off into the air, up into the clouds above the tree line.
I think she stumbles a little bit, knowing like she still has her things kept close to her. That talking of trust and stuff, even though like she brought it up, I think there's a level, hearing him have trust in her makes her stumble a little, because like she knows she's lying about a lot. And then she snaps out of it and starts up.
Okay. You fly up after, and the cool air kind of hits your face and is blowing your hair back, and you're keeping up with him much faster than you, but it's definitely flying at a slower pace. As you climb up into the clouds, he flaps there and just kind of like sits up there, and it's beautiful. Like you feel the cold, but you see this little snowfall coming out of the clouds and the mist, and you see the like fog over the tree line below, and it just looks like an ocean of cloud. And you occasionally hear the distant shooting off of a geyser in places, and they kind of peek up through the clouds, and it's a very tranquil experience, and you just hear the wind around you. You don't hear any animals, you don't hear the trees. It's just the wind and the two of you. But he looks at you and goes, you are quite the markswoman, and I wanted to do this exercise with you, but first I want to make sure I don't push you beyond your capabilities with your flight, so keep up if you can. And you see he just kind of and then begins to tilt back and begins to dive down into the clouds and starts flying diving fast away from you.
Oh my god.
So go ahead and make an athletics check to keep up.
She's just staring at that and for a moment is frightened and then sees it, his sentence ringing in her ears like a challenge. She can't help but not take it. So tries to mimic what he did and dives down. Nat 20.
Oh. So you see him diving down. As he's diving down, he tucked in his wings and began free falling from the back. And you do so forward as you tuck in. And you being a much smaller creature, you begin to... You hear the wind racing past you as you begin to catch up in speed with this large falcon wild shape. And you go diving past, and before you hit the ground, you open up your wings, catching the wind and just careening past the treetops. And Eleandor is right beside you, and you see the peregrine falcon head catching up next to you as you're chasing the wind. And he spins up and around and over you, kind of upside down, almost like a F-22 fighter as you're kind of flying through the space. And the wind, you kind of feel the currents of the wind shifting and changing. You get a little uneasy. It's kind of like riding a bike, and the front wheel begins to kind of tremble a bit, but you catch yourself and avoid a tree, and he's diving, and you're both kind of just flying back and forth, and you're kind of leading for a good portion of this. And you see he's keeping up, and then there's a moment where you both kind of match in the tree's end, and then there's a big slope going down this hill, and he kind of catches it and dives once more, and you're diving right beside him. And he begins diving below the tree line. So I need you to make another check for me.
And it's acrobatics?
It's acrobatics or athletics. It's your choice.
Damn, that was a 26.
That was a natural 20. It was a 26.
I don't know if
yeah.
I'm going to be able to beat that though.
It's a strong start.
Oh! 7 plus 11 is...
18?
18. 7 plus 11?
7 plus 11?
Or, no, 7 plus 6. Sorry.
13.
13.
13, okay. You have a lot of momentum. You're flying down. You get a little bit close to the ground, and Eleandor catches this, and you see he flies over, and he grabs your legs, and almost like birds of prey do, they lock talons. And you see he swings you, and before you impact the ground, and switches places with you, and you catch the air, and he spins and basically saves you from crashing into the snow as you both nearly hit the ground. And you are now flying through the tree line, and you see his large form. He's tucking wings and flapping them out and catching wind, and then turning almost vertically sideways to fit between trees. And you're mimicking the same, and you kind of get through some branches, and you don't fall out of the sky necessarily, but you maybe get like a slight cut on your face from a sharp branch or some pine needles, and go flying through and kind of like knock some branches out of the way, but keep flying and maintaining. And eventually you come across this large frozen lake, and you see a river running out of the nearby trees and wilderness that goes out into a large open plain. You both kind of catch that open wind, and it surges up when it reaches the tree line, and you both just kind of start hovering there as you both flap out into the open field. And it's almost like there's a gust of wind coming from below, and it kind of stops your momentum, and you just kind of ride that wind as you slowly kind of float up a little bit, kind of like seagulls on the shore.
Yeah.
You're just there as you both kind of breathing hard, the adrenaline having spiked. Take a moment, and he just looks back at you, and he's like, I'm thoroughly impressed.
Dad's never flown with me like that before.
Well, where do you think he learned to fly? And you see he just looks at you with a big bird smile. He looks back at you and goes, how these creatures hunt, and we use the sky, they use the sky, teaches a valuable lesson on precision and aggression, and how to channel it, but not rely on it entirely. He goes, if you would not mind, I would like to demonstrate. And you see he flies over, and eventually you notice birds begin flying out from the nearby tree line. Different birds. You see, geese. You see some other just waterfowl. You see some hawks and some other birds of prey that kind of begin flying around. Not a swarm of them, but just a few that just begin to fly out from the trees. And he comes back and catches the wind there with you. And you see flying out from the tree line behind him an ordinary-sized peregrine falcon that is almost like a miniature him. And you see he looks over at his eyes are flashing, and there's a lot of squawking and bird-like noises between the two as they screech out with that kind of iconic cry. And you see it just kind of takes off quick and goes low, and then catches the wind and goes up high into the sky, and you're watching it. And you see it gets up kind of in the sky into the clouds, but you can still make it out as it's flying above. And you see one of the geese that are flying out there is just kind of oblivious and is flying through the sky. And you watch as it tucks its wings like he did before and just full dives at it. And this peregrine falcon goes spinning through the air and doesn't use its talons or its beak. It just impacts the goose with a heavy impact. And the goose gets knocked out of the air and goes tumbling as it catches the wind, flies down, and you see its razor sharp talons go down to it, and then the goose disappears with a green flash of magical energy. And you see the peregrine falcon kind of flies back and continues doing this. And while you're watching this demonstration, he's explaining to you the hunting tactics of a peregrine falcon and how they use their body weight to basically render prey unconscious and send them falling out of the sky to make a clean, precise kill and conserve their energy. and the fact that they can dive so quickly, that they carry that much momentum with their strikes, and how this is a unique hunting strategy among other birds of prey, which traditionally just use their talons and catch prey and kill them in a more what's the term? That's what like majority of birds of prey do for hunting tactic. Just evolutionary, like that's just how it is. But for some reason, the peregrine falcon is different. It's a smaller build, it's a swifter build, much faster, but far more deadly. And he just looks at you and is like, I would like you to try to channel this hunting tactic. I'm going to be the prey,
What?
and I want to see what you can do.
I'm not gonna hunt you.
Why?
Because you're my grandfather. You're.
You see his face and his wild shape form just drop ever so, and he just looks back at you with a brow raised, with his large peregrine eye looking back at you, and is like, I will be fine. My years have brought me much wisdom, and I am surprised you can keep up, but I'm doing this for you and have capabilities of keeping myself out of harm's way. This is to help you and your journeys ahead.
Fine. Secretly, she's honestly nervous of not living up to the expectation I think she holds for herself after everything. So, but she does it. She's ready.
This flight is a rare gift, and many of your enemies will not have its ability. So it is a great advantage that you have, so you should use it well. And you see the other woodland creatures, the birds that he had conjured, eventually all begin to kind of fade out. This is just some magic that he had to conjure these creatures. They weren't actually birds out there that were getting harmed in this demonstration. You do see the real bird, the peregrine falcon, comes flying back to him, and they have a conversation in, you think, druidic or just through his druid magic, and he nods to it, and you see it just kind of like flies away and back into the trees, and you see a nest nearby where it lands in the nest, and he looks to you and goes, well, I'll give you a head start. Position yourself above, I will be below.
Okay. And she shoots up.
Okay.
Just takes off.
Okay, go ahead and make a stealth check for me. And due to the conditions, I will give you advantage. And you see his large peregrine form goes towards the ground and changes his wild shape.
I needed that advantage. 20, dirty 20.
Dirty 20, okay. You're flying up there in the clouds, and you hear the wind going past you, and you kind of look down and you don't see him. Go ahead and make a perception check for me. 18. You see, instead of a large peregrine falcon, you see this colossal bear that is walking through this open part of the plains in the snow. He's just looking around, just sniffing the air, and you assume it's him, and you're flying above, and he does not seem to have your scent or have you in his sights. So what do you do?
Swallow. Or I swallow.
You've been attacked there. Yeah. I will.
Swallow. Close my eyes. And I fall backwards. And I wrap my wings tightly so that I can, and as I'm falling, I open my eyes ready to grab and swoop down like I had done earlier.
Okay.
With my dagger.
Okay. So you close your wings and you're like a rocket just careening through the sky down, and you can eventually kind of hear this heavy breathing, and he's not a grizzly, he's like a cave bear. He's like larger than a polar bear, maybe 14 feet long, huge back, large paws in the snow, breaking some of the ice and powdered snow as it walks, breaking through branches.
She wouldn't have a dagger.
Okay.
I thought it's her grandpa, so no dagger.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Sorry.
No, that's all good.
Okay.
But you sheath the dagger quickly, dive down, and you're careening through the air towards it, oblivious to your approach. You're rocketing towards this large beast. What do you do?
I go to grab it.
Okay, so go ahead and make a athletics check, and I'll give you advantage on the surprise approach.
That's a 10.
A 10. You come swooping in to make heavy impact upon this creature. And you do so, and you hit it like a rocket as it impacts the creature, and you just hear the you both go rolling into the snow, and you impact the creature. And as you're rolling, you hear this and the bear roars out in pain. And as you roll out into the snow with it, you're standing there, and you notice that it begins limping with one paw as it pushes up with the other, looking back at you, foaming at the mouth. You see the green eyes, but this just utter unbridled rage is just and stands up on the back two legs, standing maybe about 13, 14 feet tall. It just it just starts roaring at you. What do you do?
That's what you get for calling him old.
Insight check on is this my grandpa or not?
Okay.
Oh, fuck. It's a 7.
A 7. You're in the adrenaline in this moment. You're not sure. You don't. He's not speaking to you. There's no lesson. You just see pure aggression. You're not sure.
Oh my god.
You see the bear just it's holding up its paw, injured in the arm, and the other one it just kind of walks a bit closer, just swiping in your direction in the air, and is trying to close in.
I drag out my bow and I eldritch blast with my bow.
Okay, go ahead and make your. You have one Eldritch Blast right now, or 2?
What?
Oh, one.
You just got one, so go ahead and make your ranged spell attack.
Fuck. 7.
7. Okay, you go and pull back, and your bow, the arcane energy flares up like an arrow, and it shoots out through the way, and it impacts the bear, and the muscles and meat on it just kind of ripple a bit, and it just kind of shakes it off. Just looks more pissed now. So what do you do?
I try and do it again.
Okay, it closes in with distance.
And I'm like trying backing
You're
up.
backpedaling. Okay.
Yeah. 17.
17. This time you do make impact. Go ahead and roll damage for me.
Okay.
I will say with its movement, it is halved, but it is charging at you.
Okay.
So as it's charging, you're like backpedaling in the snow. You're like, oh fuck, and you string back the bow and go and fire off.
3.
3. You see it impact the face, and you see it kind of like blood beginning to drip out of the mouth into the snow as it stops at mid-charge, and it just looks back at you and roars, and it's closing in. What do you do?
Oh,
God. I keep shooting. Like, I don't know. I need to run. I need to run and get higher ground, so I run towards a tree to climb up.
Okay, go ahead and make an athletics or acrobatics check for me as you turn to run, and you now hear the this giant bear's chasing you down.
19 plus 6.
25.
25.
Nice. Yeah, you find a tree and you climb it, and your adrenaline spiking, you're a bit in panic, and as you get up into the tree, you feel the heavy impact of the bear below, and the whole tree shakes. And you are up out of its reach at the moment. You see it kind of stop, and it just looks up at you with these mad eyes and this just feralness about its aggression. And you see as it looks up, it sits up on its hind legs again, just, and goes and swipes at the trees. The whole tree begins shaking, and its paws rending through the bark of the tree, chipping away
Try
at
and
it.
jump to the next tree.
Okay, go ahead and make an
Because I
acrobatics
don't think
check
she
for
can
me.
fly again.
You still have your wings.
I do?
You do.
Oh,
Yes.
then I fly. I take up into
Okay.
the sky and I fly.
Yeah, you fool.
You start flying up and out of the tree, and the bear, just distracted in this moment, is focusing on bringing the tree down. As you're flying away, you hear the tree fall, and you see the bear below as you're flying above begins like searching and sniffing through the tree for you, and you're up in the sky above. So what do you do?
I'll fly back to camp because I don't want to hurt it. If it's an actual bear, like, I don't actually want to hurt it.
Okay. You fly back to camp, and you feel the energy and arcane of your gifted of your wings beginning to waver, and you eventually touch down on the edge of the geyser fields. As you kind of touch down, you have to walk a little bit more to get back to camp, but it's just you, and you're alone, and you're a bit cold, confused, and that was honestly
Not what I expected.
yes. Eventually, you hear the swift and cutting you off as you're walking away. The large peregrine falcon, wild shape, kicks up wind and sits, touches down, and folds the wings. And you see Eleandor and his peregrine falcon, wild shape, looks back at you. and goes,
Where were you?
I was where I needed to be.
Letting me get mauled by a bear?
Vivian, I was the bear.
I hate you.
You see his wild shape shift back to his wood elf form, and he smiles at you and goes,
I think you didn't need this lesson. You exercised great restraint for a creature much more mightier than you that could have torn you apart. I'm curious if you would have reacted differently if one of your companions were within mauling range of me as a bear. Would you have kept fighting or would you have fled?
If they were in danger, I would have fought.
He just nods. There's no wrong way to come out of this exercise. It is to gain better understanding of yourself and your tactics and hopefully prepare you to help keep you alive in such a circumstance or worse. Was it too much?
I just think it was cruel.
Do you think the bear would have thought it was cruel?
No.
Survival is unforgiving, but we are a part of the natural balance. We get to make decisions that most beasts of the wilds don't. For them, it's another day, it's do or die. We are much more complex creatures in the grand scheme of things. We get to make decisions and spare those we think need to be spared, and kill that which causes us potential great threat or harm. And so far with your training, I saw merely aggression. I saw your survival instincts when you are training together as a group, when you are training. And it is a relief that you understand restraint.
Did my dad?
Your father felled me as the bear. I reverted into my natural form, healed my wounds. He did what he thought he needed to do. But you're different. It's not bad. You're not supposed to be him. You've had very different experiences in life so far. I just hope this helps you better understand yourself. And if it hasn't, we can continue working on it. I just thought it'd be a useful exercise. Midway through the fight, you forgot you could fly. Which in a circumstance like that, could get you killed.
Yeah. Yeah, I could.
But yet you got away. So you're doing something right.
Thanks. You really had me going. I thought it was you at first, but then...
It's kind of the point. We all have a bear in us, in us, and sometimes you have to let that bear out, one way or another.
I have flashbacks of, like, the bloody scene of my father and of Talos and the rage and darkness that I feel when those like happen, and it just makes me scared to it makes me scared when he says like we all have to let that bear out, because deep down I know like I can't, or else it's not good.
Okay. You don't voice any of that. It's just
No.
thought. Okay.
Mhm.
He just kind of looks at you. Those who cage their bears tend to suffer. That's why your father didn't hesitate to felled me when we did this exercise. He was helping me create scenarios to train you when you were old enough. You, your brother, and any others that remained in the grove. It was a essential bonding moment for us. We were separated too soon in his youth, and he was concerned and wanted to ensure that you could handle yourself and nothing like that would ever happen to you, being the overprotective father that he is.
What is caging the bear? How does that cause harm?
The longer the bear's cage, the angrier it gets, the more rational it becomes. It's good to allow it to roam and be free and be a bear for a time. And bears aren't merciless killing machines. They hunt. They're a part of the natural order. Yes, they have great size and power, but
Rage. Anger.
it's good to process those emotions and embrace them. Some people and creatures have greater rage than others, but it doesn't make them any less than.
I've seen rage hurt.
Usually there are catalysts that lead to that level of circumstance. It's a natural emotion that many creatures have. Are you angry?
I'm always angry. I'm growing up.
He steps back. He's like, that is fair. But it is okay to process that emotion and work through it. It's
I don't
not
think
something
I'm
that
ready
you
to
just...
yet.
And he nods. It's like, well, at least, at the very least, you acknowledged it, which is a good first step. I apologize if I pushed you too far. I feel like we've made good progress. And he looks at you like, if there's anything else you wish to discuss or work on, I am happy to do so.
No, I'm good.
It's like, fair enough. He smiles and he just looks towards you and goes, I will give you your space. I will see you back at camp.
Thanks, Grandpa.
We should go flying again soon. Without the bear.
That would be nice.
And he turns and wild shapes back into the large peregrine falcon wild shape and screeches as he flies off into the sky and leaves you at the entrance to the cave, going back to join your companions.
I think she lingers back a little bit, trying to process everything. Trying to process Talos and seeing his rage, what Adora had told her, having her brother home, having the visions of Mogus, feeling that overwhelming anxiety of all of it resurfacing and wanting the help and thinking of Trench and how he could potentially have a way to help. I think she just feels really alone for a moment and sits in that and tries to process it before coming back.
Okay. Well, you take a quiet moment in the snow to process that. We're going to break. Yeah.
You
So.
almost killed your grandpa.
Oh no, you were fine. But take care of thyself, hydrate, and we will be back again shortly. So
Eat, drink, and be merry.
we'll be back soon. And we're back from break. So, back inside of the cavern, the four of you return, doing your things. Vivian arrives back from her excursion with her grandfather. Yeah, you're not hurt at all, right?
I got
Oh,
the
you have like
once-
a little stuff. But
Yeah.
nothing too major.
Pull some twigs out of my hair.
Out of curiosity, what is everyone else doing inside of the cave when Vivian returns? Had just downtime to do your own thing, so.
I'm just etching like runes into my shield and like going over the runes that are there and just like maintenance on my shield.
Okay. Cool. Conaton, what are you doing?
Get back into the hot work. It's gonna be living.
Okay.
That's just his home.
Yeah.
It is feels like home. I'm not cold for once.
Yeah. Okay. And then Armand, what are you doing?
I think I'm like attempting to relax without like doing some sort of workout. Just like actually just like trying to sit still, and I'm having a really hard time.
You're doing great,
Okay.
Armand.
You know,
I hate this.
You're doing great.
How do you not feel like lazy?
It's called relaxing.
I don't like it.
have a joint.
Not after the last. Give me a week.
Okay. Vivian, you enter, seeing your companions, and the rest of you see Vivian returning through the cave entrance.
How'd it go?
Where'd you go?
To the sky.
Lucky.
You have some twigs in your hair?
Yeah. Great.
Did you crash in the trees?
No, I didn't crash in the trees.
You sure?
Yes.
Let's
We
check.
flew through them. We flew through them.
Did you have fun?
It was alright.
Are you You alright?
I will be.
I get that.
I hit you for the emotional damage.
Satyr in a hot tub.
She like kicks some dirt into the hot spring.
Get drenched with water. It is warm though.
Did you pee in it?
It's a hot spring.
That's not a no.
Fair point.
Wait, you've been peeing in the hot spring?
Okay, did you go in that earlier?
Oh.
It's one of the sanitizer fine.
I don't think that's how that works.
I don't think that's how that works. If anything, I feel like that would make it worse.
I need to find a different hot spring.
You
I
just
like set my shield down, and I'm like, I'm gonna go far away into it. I'm just gonna go, and then I just walk away.
I wonder if she realizes that animals probably pee in them all the time too.
don't tell her. Don't
No.
do it.
Cool.
It's too funny.
Eventually, some time passes and Eleandor returns, and there is a large. You hear the flapping of the large, wild-shaped bird form outside of the cave, and then something drops in front of it, and he lands and he reverts back into his form, and coming in, dragging in this large woven basket, an assortment of what looks like fish that are collected in a basket he's dragging into the space towards the fire, and kind of opens up this hand woven from like reeds like basket that he, you assume, made, and opens it up to a bunch of fish freshly caught.
Ooh, I have a fish tonight.
If you would not mind preparing a meal for our final dinner here together. And he looks over to you, Armand, and goes, are you ready for your lesson?
Oh, so it wasn't just the talk?
Well, no. Unless you wish to talk more.
No, let's go. Let's do it.
I had something else in mind, if that's all right.
Yeah.
Very well. Well, looks towards the rest of you, like, we shall return in time for dinner. So, take care of yourselves.
I'm in a faraway hot spring.
Eleandor trusts that you will relay said message. And
I'm gonna eat Adora's food. Just kidding.
So, Armand, you were taken out on foot through the wilderness, past the geyser field, down through the forest, and he takes you out to the edge of the tree line on a completely different side of the wilderness. And as you do so, you look out into the fields and you see these large bison, these huge, hulking bison herds that are moving across this plains of field through the snow.
Okay.
And you watch as he wild shapes into a lion, and you see the large mane come through and the large feline form into the snow.
And he looks towards you and goes, the first part of this lesson I'm going to demonstrate, and then I want to speak with you, and then we'll go from there. And he just kind of looks at you, and he has a partial grin on his face. He seems fairly excited about this. And you hear her stab on, he's like, alright, let's get the fucking show on the road. Let's kill some fucking, what are those called? And he curiously asks you.
Bison. They're called, telepathically, bison. They're called bison.
Right, kill some fucking field bulls.
Yeah, fuel bulls.
But
Let's go.
bison.
Bison.
Bison. Kill some fucking bison! You see Eleandor kind of has like a lion brow raised and just kind of looks at you, shakes off a bit of snow, and scampers off down into the snowbanks below and begins to get fairly low, stalking, approaching this large herd. And you notice this large herd in the distance seem to be not moving like a migration. They're just kind of like in this area. And before you can blink, you just hear the like the lion roar that echoes out over the field, and it sends the bison just running off into the distance, and they begin encircling. You see much larger bison begin to kind of circle around this area and create this kind of natural barrier, and you notice the young are centered in the circle, in the center of the circle, as the adults begin to kind of form this natural wall, and they're kicking up their horns and billowing and stamping the ground in the snow, and this Eleandor's there just roaring with this lion roar towards them, and a few of the bulls begin to move out from the herd and go to meet him and challenge him. And you see he swipes his claws and is roaring. And it's interesting because you know of lions. You've never quite yourself been in an environment where lions exist. But you know of bison, and there are more native species that live in this area, in these woodlands, in these fields, in this area of Faerun. And it's interesting to see these animals interact, because even though the bison don't know what the lion is, they understand enough that it's a threat and they're defending their own. And much like, humans and like a shield wall, they're interlocked in this protective circle around the younger bulls and the younger bison in this herd. And eventually Eleandor is forced to retreat as the bulls come bearing down on him and are kicking up and charging in every direction, and he runs off. And you see him track down through the field a ways back towards the woodlands, and eventually comes through the brush near you. He's unharmed, but you see him just kind of like breathing heavy. And he looks towards you and goes,
So, what I have seen from your training, I see that you very much are fitting the role as a protector among your own pride. You are very compassionate, and I saw the way that you were willing to forfeit the exercise on the lake to save Adora after she fell in, abandoning the objective. What did you see in my demonstration?
The bison were not worried about attacking you.
What were they focused on?
They're young.
What do you think I could have done better?
To be honest, Senora, I don't think you could have done anything better. I think you would have lost.
He sits there and just kind of lets the wind blow through his mane, looking back at you.
I want you to take a closer look at the herd.
Go ahead and make a perception check for me.
So,
Like I answered wrong.
Yo.
Oh, this is not the tablet, this is my laptop.
11.
11. Looking down at the herd, you see the circle there. They're beginning to break off, but you notice that there are a few adults towards the center around the kids, the young. And you notice there's what looks like one in the center that's kind of moved away from the others. You can't quite tell from this distance what's going on, but there's something else going on that you can't quite make out at this distance.
Something's happening with that bigger one.
He just looks and goes, I trust you to handle it. My approach failed.
You want me to go down there?
He nods.
Stealthily make my way down.
Okay, go ahead and make a stealth check for me.
11.
Okay. You begin tracking through the snow, approaching, and you see some bison in the distance. You're kind of moving into the herd a bit, not like in the middle, but as you're getting close, you notice that there is a large pond and there's broken ice, and you just hear the kicking and flailing of water as a young bison is fighting to stay above the surface. And
Immediately I go in.
the larger bison are encircled around that frozen pond.
Immediately I like more with like haste, but like still like try and like calmly like try and approach the middle of the lake to like. And my intent is to try and like help the baby bison out.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so go ahead and make a what would this be? Okay, so I'll say this. You break your stealth, you stand up, and you begin running, sprinting towards this pond where this young bison struggling for air and the other bison are there. They instantly clock you, and these large horned bison begin moving in your direction. I will need an animal handling check for me, or a persuasion check. No, actually, you know what? I'm gonna say animal handling for this. These are not people.
These are not
15.
15. You see the bison stop as you kind of raise your hands and you show this non-threatening kind of posture towards them. And you see they kind of stop, and one of them was like mid-charge. And they just kind of, and they billow and just kind of are there in the snow, and they kind of watch you as you move closer and closer. One of them gets close enough that they're like in front of you, and they just kind of sniff at you. What do you do?
The baby bison's dying. Drowning. But I very, like, quickly but, like, intently, like, touch my hand to the bison's, like, muzzle to be like, I'm not a threat.
Okay. You do so, and you see it touches its large snout, its nose, and, like, its flattened kind of face, and the fur and the wool of it. And you smell the musk of this creature in its proximity, and you see it just blinks, and you see its eyes are just staring at you, and it can't speak. But you feel this aggression diminish into nothing, and it regains its calm. And you continue past it towards the pond, and you see the other young that are kind of like freaking out, and the other adults that are moving around and just billowing and kicking up snow and dirt in the ground, and they're not wanting to abandon it. And you walk out and see this. It's probably like a 60-foot by like 45-foot pond, and there's like plants growing around it. And you're in a field, and you see the tracks and the broken ice in places where they've tried to go out to it and they've fallen in. And you see it in the center, maybe about 30 feet, just kicking up, and it's got like one hoof on the ice and the other one's like kicking up, and it's just kind of yipping and making its young noises, just crying out.
Okay.
What do you do?
I very quickly like take off my shield, take off like my shirt and like my weighted shirt, and like take a stab on it, and like the kurisan.
Cause you're grabbing.
Thank you, Dad.
Yes.
Take those off,
Uh-huh.
and then I dive in, so that way I can, from behind, like try and like lift the baby bison like back up, since it's already got like one paw, like
Okay.
like hook up.
Yeah, okay, so go ahead and make a athletics check for me. You have to swim under the ice to it. 9. You go swimming under the ice, and it's frigid cold, which you did recently, so you're not unaccustomed to it, but it's still not pleasant. You're swimming under the ice, and the visibility's low. There's a lot of murk that's been kicked up in this pond, and as you're swimming, you kind of get a little disoriented and a little bit lost, and you go to swim up, and your head just hits ice, and it hurts bad, and there's a bit of panic that runs through your mind as you impact the top of the ice and think of the possible drowning circumstance that can happen. And you feel the splashing of water, and you feel that you're in proximity of it, but you're trying to find it. So do me a favor and roll a... What skill would you like to use in this situation? I'll allow you to choose whatever you seem fit if we can agree on something.
Survival.
Okay. Yes, go ahead and roll a survival check.
13.
13. So in this moment of panic, you regain your calm, you focus, you feel the splashing of water, you begin to move where a lot of that movement's coming from, and you have one hand above your head to keep your head from hitting the ice again, and you're kind of like walking the bottom of the pond and feeling the surface, and you eventually feel the crack in the opening, and you force it open, and you splash up and just take in a big breath of air, and you are now beside the creature as it's flailing, and now that you're there, it's a bit more panicked, you can tell.
Mm-hmm.
So what do?
I first like reach like a hand to kind of like rub it and like soothe it
Mm-hmm.
and like let it know like I'm not a threat, like I'm here to help.
Mm-hmm.
And then I take another like really deep breath, and then I dive back down to get like underneath it, like where its like butt is, so
Yeah.
I can just like start like pushing it like up, like with like combination of like my shoulder and like my chest.
Okay, so first I'll need an animal handling check, and then we'll follow that up with an
We'll try a
athletics
different
check.
dice because this dice decided to betray me.
Traitor.
Thank you. Animal handling 18.
18. You begin to soothe it, and it begins calming down, and you can tell it's like hyperventilating a little bit. It's very stressed, and it begins to go still, and the splashing subsides, and you see it shaking. It's trembling cold, and you take a big breath and submerge into the water and feel it and get down, and you're standing at the base of the pond underwater. That's probably like maybe 8 feet-ish, 8.5 feet deep. So you reach the bottom and get positioned, and then go ahead and make an athletics check to push it up and out of the frozen pond.
Dirty 20.
You push it up, and it's a young one, but these things are heavy. Big creature, a large, a medium-sized beast. And you begin pushing it up, and you feel it giving way. It gets its other hoof up out of the water, and it's kind of using its hooves to kind of grip at the ice and dig into it. And you're pushing it up high enough, and you feel its back legs give in, and it begins walking up and out on the ice and begins scampering off and runs off. You see it from below perspective, like it blurred because you're underwater, but you see its large shadow above on the ice as the ice cracks as it moves away, and you can hear its hoof falls from under the water that scampers off the frozen pond, rejoining the other bison.
Okay.
And you swim back up and get out of the freezing cold waters and collect your things. And as you're there, you notice all of the bison are beginning to encircle you. And you see the largest one that comes out. This thing has huge scars on it, what looks like a missing horn. This is a very old bull. And it walks over towards you, and you see it stamps the ground with its hoof and shakes its head, and its huge body just kind of moves a bit. And you notice the young one that you saved, dripping wet, freezing cold, kind of walks over and starts licking your hand with its like very large herbivore-like tongue. And you see it just kind of like yip a bit and get zoomies and starts jumping around, and then the other young start going with it, and the herd begins to break off and begins moving collectively as the large one, after some kind of display of respect and thanks, begins to march as they march through the snow, and the herd begins moving through the field away from you. And eventually you see Eleandor walking up to you, and he just has a huge smile on his face. He goes,
So, your approach worked.
I don't know why I'm getting really emotional right now.
that's totally okay.
It's both.
This is D&D, damn it! That's okay.
Emotional
That's okay.
damage.
Do you know why I joined the Ashguard? Senor.
I cannot recollect at the moment.
It was a punishment.
Oh,
I got myself and my younger brother into a lot of trouble. And I failed to protect him the way that I should have. And he paid a very heavy price. refuse to let that happen again.
Well, the lesson here I was trying to teach you seems to be one that you happened upon yourself. I see much of a lion in you and how you defend those you care about. But it's important to remember that a lion is only as great as its pride, those who travel and follow with it. And no matter how hard you roar, it cannot change the outcome. Sometimes you just need a different approach to solving problems. And it seems that you understand your roar better than I thought. When to use it and when not to use it. And that's why you were able to help the young one, and I was kept at bay, even though my intentions were the same as yours, to help it from drowning. I, for one, am glad that you have joined the Ashguard. I feel like you and the rest of your companions are an invaluable asset to the guild and the people you help and will help. I understand that there are often things in the past that we wish had different outcomes or things we wish we did differently, but in my many, many, many moons, I find that to be necessary. Necessary lessons to bring you where you are today and to take you to new heights even you yourself did not see coming. A greater calling. Many call it different things: destiny, will, fate, or
Legacy.
he just kind of smiles like, I was going to say nature, but I like legacy as well. The natural order of things. You've all come a long way.
Well, I think it's funny because yesterday you were telling me to spread my wings, as it were. And now you're telling me to protect my pride. And I think it's possible to do both.
If the metaphor suits you better, protect your flock. You can fly together.
Do you want to know something funny? My ma has a certain nickname for my mama that she's used ever since before they even came to the Warriors Grove. And it's a gorrion, and that means sparrow.
He smiles. I like it. I take it there's a deeper meaning there.
She's just a fast runner. Like a bird in flight.
Just smiles and looks back, enjoying the connection to nature that it has. Do you consider yourself a sparrow?
I feel I'm too big to be a sparrow.
Well, what do you think suits you better?
I don't know yet, but I would like to find out.
He just nods. I see a lion when I look at you. I see bravery. I see compassion. I see a level of nobility, but a profound responsibility to protect you and yours. one of a natural leader. But that is one of many examples in nature that I see that you can relate to. I see different things for each of you, and you are not bound by one thing. You are you. And as much as we like to remove ourselves from the natural world, we are in it all the same, like everything else. Every fish that swims through from rivers out to the great seas, from every bird in the sky and the fields, and every insect that crawls in and out of logs and trees, and even the great bison that migrate miles in these great fields. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it is. Thank you.
Of course. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to work with you. He just smiles and looks off, and you see the large migration just continuing in the distance as they trudge through the snow. The wind picking up. You see the weather beginning to turn a bit harsher as the snowfall becomes like a mix of snow and hail. And he looks up and goes, "Perhaps it's time we return."
Yes, I'm cold.
You see him
I'm so cold.
hold out his staff, and from it you see he pulls a little bit of like sap or wax that's on the side of it, and he moves his hand out and speaks in Druidic and conjures fire nearby and kind of wafts the flame over your clothes and over your armor and your vestments and keeps it alit nearby you in the air, and it returns to his hand and keeps it in proximity to you to keep you warm, because you are risking hypothermia. When you were having that conversation, you were like, fuck, he is like just talking and you were having a hard time focusing. Honestly, but you were focused enough that you heard everything and
I was being
were
respectful.
present. You were. And he did notice. And nonetheless, he gets you warm again. And after a similar timed journey there, back, you return to the cave, and you get your warm layers on, and you're finally dry, but you're still kind of fighting that near exhaustion of the cold. And as when you return, the proximity of the geysers and the heat, you're so relieved to be back. So you both return, and the rest of you see Armand and Eleandor return together. And I imagine smelling some freshly cooked fish and some other dish or whatever dish you want to cook with the food that you're provided for from Eleandor. So what is
Yeah,
what is
some
the
cooked
combination?
fish. We have some shiro sushi. We have
Is the sushi sanitary?
yes.
For your parasites.
Check for sanitation.
Check for parasites.
But yeah, food is cooked. Night is encroaching quickly, but Eleandor goes back to his things, and he kind of warms himself up, and you see he gets into more undergarments and takes off his robe and other things and pelts, and he heads for one of the springs and gets in himself and just kind of and you see him just kind of like his beard kind of floats on the surface of the
Ew.
water, and he just enjoys the lengthy wood elf, just kind of enjoys the hot spring as his cheeks get warm in his ears, and he just kind of sits his hair back, and his hair kind of just drifts. He enjoys it.
Should we tell your grandpa that Thomas peed in that water? I'm sure he knows.
I'm aware. And he
Just
enjoys
checking.
it. He enjoys it nonetheless.
Just checking.
Yeah.
I haven't peed in a lake before. Come on.
Ew. No.
But yeah, you all reconvene. You're inside the cave together.
This is why you bathe after being in any type of body of water.
Where do you expect us to bathe?
Why do you think I haven't gone in?
Okay, well, that's your own fault.
There are plenty of pools, I will say.
And Tom's peed in all of them.
That's right, man.
If you would like to attempt such a thing, I would need you to roll.
I'm gonna need you to tell me which ones are clean.
I wasn't paying attention.
That's worse.
Adora,
Yes.
just risk it. If that's what you need Just shower after.
I've already done the damage. It's done.
Exactly. So.
It's fine. It's fine.
You all hear movement outside of the cavern, and you hear. It sounds like smaller creatures. There's few of them moving out into the snow, and you see odd tracks near the mouth of the cave, and you see this red, almost pink face of what looks like a monkey or some ape-like creature with a woolly-like fur around the head, peeking in, just looking at you all.
Nice.
And you notice that there's others that are kind of walking out in the snow, and they're currently walking around in the area of the springs outside, and one of them has kind of taken interest in just kind of looking inside.
They've also been in the springs. I'm just kidding.
Or am I?
Should we chase them off? I feel like we should chase
No,
them off.
this is their
Yeah.
home.
Leave the poor little fellas alone.
But don't like
Don't
monkeys.
be a bull.
I'm not being just like monkeys. Don't like monkeys like steal shit or like throw it.
That seems
That
very
seems
judgmental of you.
speciesist.
Speciesist?
I think we're okay. I think they're just curious.
If one of them starts throwing actual shit, I'm
Ugh.
gonna like, say I told you.
I grab
Again.
some fish and I offer some fish to them.
Do monkeys even eat fish?
Go ahead and make an animal handling check for me
I'm
as you
aboard.
approach.
That one.
No, don't wish that on me. I have a +0 for this.
Could be worse.
15.
Okay. You approach with the fish and you see it just kind of, and you offer it and it kind of goes and reaches and then swipes it from you. Just kind of licks it at first and looks back at you, and you see it opens its mouth. It's got like decent fangs on it. Like imagine mountain baboons.
Yeah.
Like they're look fairly muscular built. Definitely more of like an ape, less of a monkey. And it just kind of sits there and looks at you, and you see it bites into it and chews it and bites more and starts eating. And you see it just kind of like goes and hobbles away holding the fish. It kind of wobbles on 2 feet as it walks away. And as you're walking away, you get like halfway back into the cave, and then you hear then you look back and it's back, and there's another one with it.
Look what you did.
I told you so.
At least they're asking. They're not just taking the fish like you assumed they
Do
would.
we have extra?
I'm not saying that they would take the fish. I'm saying that they would take our stuff.
No. They
Again,
just are hungry.
it's very
Do we have extra?
judgmental.
Tom,
Hmm?
do we have extra fish?
I like gather up like
I think
I
there
like
was a few.
get like kind of not like protectively like near my stuff. Not like not like obviously they're full, but I'm just like sitting in front of it. Like you need to get past me if you want to touch any of my shit.
Okay.
I'm not going for yours.
No, like I
The
Towards
monkeys.
the-
The apes,
okay.
apologies, yeah.
Between me, that one, and this one.
I'll give them mine.
I like look down at the fish that I'm like half eating, and it's like a
I've already
ridiculous.
finished my plate.
It's a ridiculous amount of fish.
Mhm.
And I get up and I go with Vivian to give it to the monkeys.
Okay.
I think enough for them to feed their family.
Okay.
Because I'm guessing there's
So-
a family.
You both, yeah, you walk out towards the entrance cave, and you see these 2 younger apes looking at you. And it's funny because they have like bushy eyebrows that stick up, and they have like these large kind of like very fluffy, like almost pelt-like fur around them that goes down to their body. And you look over, you see a good like 2 dozen of them together, and a lot of them are sitting in hot springs outside in the snow sticking to their pelts, and they're just kind of sitting in the hot water, and they're just kind of like poking through each other's fur, like picking out like twigs and like looking for insects and parasites, and they're just kind of chilling and doing their thing. And these 2 are the one that are closest to you, and they're just kind of sniffing out, and you see one kind of just like and, like puts the hand out, and you offer it more, and it kind of takes it and looks at it, sniffs it, licks it again, and like goes and like has the other one, it sniffs it, licks it, and looks up and bites into it. and starts chewing, and you see the other one just kind of goes towards the others, just starts grabbing like randomly, and some fall into the ground. It takes it, kind of does the waddle away, and the other one's just sitting there chewing, kind of looks up, sees the other one's gone, just kind of scampers off, scared. And you see they go back into the water and dive back into one of the springs and starts chewing, and you see instantly the others get curious. They go towards that one. They start fighting over some. They eventually all kind of like simmer down enough and start eating the fish that you gave them.
Okay.
And yeah, they just kind of do their thing. They don't go into the cave, but they are outside doing their thing. And you both kind of just stand there and watch, and it's a bit humorous to witness, but they kind of keep to themselves. They don't come back.
Thanks for coming with me and humoring me on this one.
I mean, you've been feeding strays your whole life, so
Have I?
yeah, it's kind of your thing.
Well, good to know some things haven't changed.
Yeah, I think so.
My plan worked.
It's cold.
Oh, yeah, we should get back to the cave.
Plus, I don't want to
That's
see my
incredibly
grandfather in the
vicious.
spring anymore.
Yeah, that's an image I probably will never get out of my head. Are you gonna get in a string? Spring?
Why?
Just curious. You haven't yet, so at least not that I've seen.
So you've been watching me.
No, I was just, there's a million of them, and I don't know. I was just, we're here. It's not like we come here all the time.
You're right. I've been finding it harder to let loose, I guess. But
I've noticed. Used to be pretty carefree back in Theros. It seems you've become a lot more managed.
it sounds so harsh and not me.
AV conversation, see
I'm
your way
trying
out
to
of it.
focus and I
I
can
know,
see
I
Olivia over
can't. I can't focus.
You're doing great, gang.
Oh my gosh. I guess a lot had happened that made me feel like I needed to reel it in.
Well, not that it matters, but you wanted to know my opinion. I think you should find that girl again. I might miss her.
I think I might miss her too. Why not? I'll get in.
Go for it.
Okay, turn around.
Oh. You know what? I'll just go back to the cave. Just like put my hands up and I'll, like walk back to the cave.
Sure.
Adora, what are you doing back in the cave?
Nothing.
With Vivian.
She's gonna hot spring.
And you're not going in with her?
She told me to turn around, so
Maybe just see her change, but you could go in with her.
if she doesn't want me to see her change, then she
I mean-
probably doesn't want me in
Elbows
there.
are
Oh.
You're being an idiot.
Well, I can't go back now
Yeah, you can.
and say what?
Amon, you're not one to talk about this.
Just go out there and, like, you know what?
Dance?
No. It's my thing.
No, it's not.
Not yet. Just go out there and be like, you know what? I really kind of want to get into the spring too. And don't even, like, ask her. Just get in.
Girls, have you not been swapped yet?
I think that may be a little forward for me. Things are complicated.
Maybe don't get in.
You
but,
just-
like,
You just
but,
said.
like, okay.
Am I?
If you're not gonna get in with her, even though I don't see what the problem is, because you've already seen her naked.
Armand.
Shut up.
I'm going to bed, and I just get up and like go into my tent.
What have I told you about letting the ship sail itself? Stop forcing it! If you can't,
I'm just trying to like blow the wind in her direction.
if you haven't noticed, their current ship's in dry dock for repair. You try to shut it off now, it's going to sink.
It's the ship metaphors
This
again.
is great.
The harbor master.
The harbor master. Fucking, she's like dry dock in repair. That was great. I'll never look at harbor masters the same way. Cool.
It's just frustrating because they clearly still have feelings for each other.
Yeah, but there's something that they gotta work through. They have to repair the ship.
I feel like they would work through it if they were just fucking honest about how they feel.
I'm sleeping. I'm just in my tent like, I'm asleep.
Sometimes it's hard to be honest with someone in that situation, especially if we do not know what damaged their ship, and if one of them was the cause of said holes in the ship.
You're really trying to keep the ship metaphor alive, aren't you?
Trying to figure out how to explain it. Basically, we don't know something happened. We can guess. Don't know what happened. Something caused some damage in our relationship. And if it's one of them who caused the damage, could cause it, we can cause trust issues. So, don't force it. Let it happen.
Tom, the voice of reason.
Who would have thought?
The one who actually has.
Oh man.
It's just, I get it, but like, they would just be so much happier if they just. were
Trust me,
honest.
I've been wanting to lock those two in a room and throw away the key for a week.
Why don't we do that? I mean, it forces them to talk.
Have you? I need to find a strong enough room that Adora can't break through.
Why don't we just like use like the prison cells or something?
Have you seen how big she gets? She's gonna. We're gonna walk out.
There's gotta be someplace.
Just let the work it out.
If I find a room first before they work it out, I'm just gonna throw them in there.
I would like to see you try.
I'm going to bed.
You begin to bed down for the night. Vivian, you are left outside in one of the hot springs alone.
Yeah.
Or did you go into one of the
Are you
caves, like
disappointed that
deeper
Adora
in the
didn't join
caves?
Huh?
Are you disappointed that Adora didn't join you?
Table.
I am curious
World
what
will
what
ever-
Vivian is thinking of, and you're alone wherever you are in the hot spring. I'm just curious while the rest of your companions are off talking with each other. You get a moment like by yourself.
I mean, I think there was disappointment that Adora didn't come back
Mhm.
or join, but
There's a but.
I think just reflecting on what was said too,
Mhm.
remembering who she was in Theros, and honestly the one who used to try and get Adora to relax and have fun, ditch training sometimes and run off to go on adventures, and just realizing that she has changed. Thinking about her grandfather, still having that lingering fear, deciding there might be one person she needs to talk to
Okay.
before.
Okay. Cool. Eventually, the night gets late enough, and you all retire for the evening in your respective places in camp to get a night's rest. Your final night on this excursion. Eventually, morning does come, and with it, some snowfall. And Eleandor helps you all as you begin to pack up camp. You get one final meal together before heading back to the grove. Get some breakfast.
I don't want to go out there. It's cold, it's warm here. Can we stay the fucking snow away, please?
Stop complaining. We get it. You don't like the cold. You don't need to tell us every 30 seconds.
Be kind, Armand. Kind.
This is me being kind.
I haven't yet.
Fair.
So I'm curious, what's on the menu for breakfast?
Something warm, hearty, probably oatmeal. Just something warm, sits in your gut.
Mm-hmm.
Keep you warm for a while.
Cool.
Yes.
I was gonna say avena, but I love avena. But like the avena we grew up with, not like actual oatmeal.
But yeah, you all finish your meal, and Eleandor helps, eats with you all. And while sitting there, he just looks at you all and goes, well, I trust at least some of you have learned something about yourselves in our time away. And should you need further time, my door is always open to help you in a moment's notice. Should you need to talk, should you wish to speak on any matters, or even if you would like to come up with a way to further the lessons that we shared here in our time away, I would be honored to be of service to you all. So please don't hesitate, and at the very least, you're always welcome home for some tea.
Gracias, señor.
Just nods with a smile. I think a swifter way home is in order, since the weather has turned on us in our time away. And he moves out of the cave entrance, and you see he takes his staff and kind of begins to draw a runes, like very similar to your runes, but very much more Celtic and like druidic. And he's drawing them. He goes and he pulls out this very large feather, and he casts a spell, and he holds the feather to his chest, and you watch as his form shifts. And unlike the wild shape of his druidic magic, he casts a greater polymorph spell on himself, and you watch as the giant great eagle wings come out on either side, kicking up the wind and air, as you see Eleandor, unable to speak in this polymorph, looks to you all as this great eagle just kind of stands there, towering over you, this like huge-sized eagle.
Is he gonna be able to carry me in my giant sack?
He will be able to carry all of you on his back.
Seriously, you can put some of that stuff in that bag holding.
We gotta get on.
That's the coolest thing I've ever fucking seen.
Are you okay?
Heights.
You get ginormous, you can't be that scared of heights.
What's this? Big word.
It's okay.
You scared of birds?
No.
He does this all the time. Come on.
Okay, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
I hop on first.
Okay.
And very careful.
Folds the wings in and kind of like leans down, and you all climb up, clutching onto the large feathers.
I like place like a comforting hand on Adora's shoulder.
I'm like this on the eagle.
It's gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay.
Adora?
Just breathe. Don't look down.
Breathe.
You're gonna be okay.
Just hold on.
I am holding on.
It's fine. It's fine.
Okay. Do you want to be up front instead?
Nope, I'm not moving.
Andrew, you might try to hurry this.
Eleandor, I think we're ready to go.
see Eleandor kind of was looking off, and you see some of the monkeys in the distance are like looking over the rocks and are like poking out, and you see one of them goes out and just kind of moves out curiously, just kind of trying to be tough, and you see Eleandor is like distracted by them, and you see him kind of take a step and move, so as you're all trying to like get settled in the back, and then kind of stops and refocuses and kind of fights the bestial urge and the polymorph to go hunt these edible apes compared to this very large eagle. And just kind
Grandpa!
of turns and smack him and he just kind of screeches with that eagle screech and looks back and sees you all in the back and just and you all take off with this immense force and you're clutching onto these feathers. There's no saddle, like you're just on its bare back and rocket up into the cold air in the sky. And before you know it, those of you with the courage to look over the side see the landscape that you've traversed from a bird's eye view up in the clouds as you are soaring above the snowscape and see all manner of creature. I do need you all to make a perception check for me.
Go. Ooh. Nat 20.
10. How do you get
Damn!
Joyana?
It's because she's used to this and she flies herself, so
10.
she's not afraid.
Fair. Okay.
11.
19.
19. So with the nat 20, the 11, or the, what did you say, 19?
19.
You got an 11? What did you get?
10.
10. So the two of you, as you're on the back of this, you notice something in the periphery as you're flying on the back of Eleandor. And it's back towards the mountain. There's movement up above in the sky as you're flying and you're ascending up into the clouds. You see some large winged creature flying around in the sky, far off. Both of you see this, and it's nothing to raise enough concern. But Vivian, with a natural 20, as you're looking out into the sky, it's difficult to see the creature. You see its movement through the clouds, but then you realize because its coloration is the same as the clouds in sky, it's white. And you see a very large, huge, white dragon flying in the distance near the peak of this mountain. And it's a distance away, but this creature you've seen is probably the biggest dragon you've seen ever. And it could definitely fly you down and probably prey upon this great eagle you're riding on. It is very big.
I message Eleandor and I say, Grandpa, large white dragon, mountain, and I say the direction.
Okay. You hear a screech as the great eagle, and you are moving away from that direction, and as you say that, kind of begins moving in a more hastened fly speed as you are kind of dashing through the air, and you are holding on as like the wind is going by you, and you all are pulling up for dear life, but you lose sight of the creature eventually, and you catch a glimpse of that fearsome dragon and are flying out over the plains, and you see the field of the dead and like all of the tombstones covered in snow and the large trees that encompass the swamp area of Eltengard where the grove is located, and eventually you see the river Choitanar that's just flowing through the landscape, and eventually you see the large lake of Elturel, and you see the Warriors Grove there. It's like looks like such a small settlement from way up here above, but eventually you circle around and you come lower, and it's a slow descent, and eventually you land on the outskirts. Or no, you land within the grove itself in front of the pyre and the tavern as Eleandor makes this very grand arrival, and as this great eagle, as you all are clutching onto the back, and eventually one by one get off, and you see him fold his wings there looking at you all, and you return to the grove after your getaway. And that's where we're going to end tonight's episode, y'all. Woo! So, yeah. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned next time for episode 25 for Quarter Quell.
So wild.
Copyright not intended.
No, not intended, no. But episode 25, I can't believe it.
I
But
know.
yeah. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see y'all next time.
Bye.
Woo!